starting to be applied to David Teague as he's doing the same to his troops out there. They need to perform if they're going to wear the navy blue, he told our team just a few minutes ago. And Justin Longmuir, we all admire the progress they've made. Round 3 from Marvel Stadium. Carlton, Fremantle, Wayne Russell.
Good crowd in. Ball thumped into the deck. Meek, Pitternet go at it. Brayshaw, who was a star last week, crunched, driven into the deck, and maybe that's an early indicator from what we're going to get from Carlton. David Teague said it pre-game, he wants effort. Gee, he got some effort there. So Zach Williams gives it off, and Sard drives it long. Mackay's under it, one hand. Might get his own crumb. He left it. Eddie Betts back into the lineup, spins it around. And he didn't spin it enough. That would have lifted the roof early if Eddie had slotted that.
Well, David Teague said pre-game he wants pressure from Eddie Betts. I'm sure he wants goals from Eddie Betts as well to combine with that. And that was a perfect opportunity there for the Blues out of the middle with Sard running off the half-back line.
Ryan took the liberties allowed to him and drives to a big pack on the wing and beautifully gobbled up by Taberner in a flash. It's Mundy with a deep driving ball. Plowman under all sorts of pressure, but he stands tall and takes an excellent mark back with the flight.
Got the big job on Michael Walters, has Lockie Plowman, much made of last week's performance.
Yeah.
So they've set him for the biggest job in the Fremantle forward line.
No easing into the third week for him, is there? As Williams has paid the mark. Close attention from Akers. So back in the side, or into the side for the first time last week. Williams did plenty right, but also turned the ball over a few times. Now, bit of confusion. Here's blood rule by the sound of it. And Brad Cox is coming for the ground. We wish the best of luck to Luke Parks, who is wearing the number 26 this afternoon for Carlton, making his debut. The 19-year-old who had to make his way from New South Wales, where he was playing for North Shore and St Ives. He went to Glenelg last year in the SANFL. Rookie by the Blues, and he gets his chance today as Gibbons kicks Carlton to half full.
Cripps got a hand on it. Casbolt came up with it. Sard. It's being held back. It's a free kick against Pitternet to Meek.
Well, one thing I'm liking about Carlton already is they're off and gone. If they think Carlton are going to win the ball, they're proactive. They're not waiting for the outcome. It's exciting.
Over the head of Bundy. Gibbons gobbles it up. Cripps looks up. He's got a couple of targets. He was bumped on the kick. Meek, well, the Blues fans thought he overcommitted. Schultz came up with it. Heads out wide to Frederick. And we know he likes to put the Jets on. He's on the first game of Parks, who holds him up nicely to Hughes. He gave it some thought with the hand. Goes by foot. It's a wobbler. Walters can't get near it. And that's a great mark taken by Jones. Back pocket Blues. Crowd making some noise early. Urging their boys on. Heads out wide. Walsh been on outstanding form. 29 and 31 possessions in the 2 games so far this year. Down the line, Mackay couldn't mark it. Gibbons crumbed it, got his arms free. Didn't have a handball target to give to. Meek, Wilson, Giro. Tight ropes the boundary, couldn't find a teammate. Fist from Parks, got it back in the air. Switkowski got it from Brayshaw, gave it to Darcy. Wobbles it inside 50. It might work for Walters. He was grabbed, didn't have it.
It was smart by Walters, deliberately didn't take possession of the ball, knowing that he had the break on Plowman, who was going to try and close that space quickly.
And it adds to the theory that sometimes you're better off rolling it along the ground to some creative forwards than kicking it in the air. That seemed to work to his favour there. So back into the lineup. First game for the year. Michael Walters. Deep breath to set himself. A few boos for the opening goal of the afternoon. Gee, struck it pure. That is delightful.
He's a star, Michael Walters, and this matchup's one I'm going to be fascinated by for the day. But Patrick Cripps took a mark at centre-half forward. Did he play on or not? Because he hasn't really moved off the line. He's going into his kicking action. It's the smallest of steps.
Yep.
And he's taken to ground. It costs Carlton a goal. They were going to stroll in and goal from there. So, what's your decision, Jono? I'm not quite sure myself.
Well, the umpire, I didn't think called play on, but watching then, he did actually raise the arms to call play on, so therefore, no 50.
No hesitation from the coach in bringing Michael Walters in to replace Nathan Fyfe. Fyfe's been playing predominantly forward. Clever play. He's happy to chat about it too with Lockie Plowman by the look of that. Did you like the way I didn't take possession of the ball? The opening goal. There's Meek getting the tap down, but it's in the path of a couple of Carlton players. Doherty hit it hard. Curnow with the backup. Squirts out to the wing. Cottrell late inclusion. Carlton get it forward. Gibbons can't keep it in.
It's an interesting matchup, Plowman. I mean, he's had a horror performance last week. Multiple goals kicked on him. To get Walters is the biggest challenge in the Fremantle side today.
Yes, he's had 8 goals kicked on him already this year. They do say that's a guide because sometimes it's hard to know who's on who. Mundy paddles it back. Plenty of numbers around there. Hughes was able to thread the handball effectively back to Mundy. Again, the extremities of the wing. So much so, in fact, that it's out on the full and it's going to be Liam Jones's ball.
Must stay on the line. Just a foot on the line, please. A foot on the line.
So Freo deciding to go with the 2 ruckmen again.
Round you go, mate.
With Darcy playing predominantly forward last week and rucking in the forward half of the ground. And you imagine he'll do the same again while swapping with Meek in the ruck. Jones. Stop play. Cripps playing in front. Hughes got fingers to it. Silvani, one of 4 changes for Carlton. And as you can see and hear, there's nowhere to go, so we'll have another ball up.
Great to have Silvani back in, just outside the 50. Pitternet fights his way to the ball, bounced it towards Casbolt, clean bowled him. Mackay at full steam, came back against the grain, flicked it over his head. Nunes a little slip, had to give the handball out. Cottrell looks up, just bangs it to the hot spot in Hope. From behind, Casbolt had a little piece of it by fist. Doc is getting a ton of numbers back. The scramble, Betts on hands and knees. Brace your hands and knees. Silvani slips it out. Walsh gets it out. Big chance, snap at goal. Nunes. Right man, right time. Blues get there first.
Fair fight. Inside forward 50 from both teams, actually. Both teams having a fair crack to try and release the ball out. But in the end, it was Silvani who just wanted it the most.
This is as beautiful as it is ugly. I mean, the Carlton forward 50, a scrap like that. I mean, we haven't seen that for a while. Hunting after the ball, the loose ball, get the crumb, take possession, make something happen, and Walsh comes into the play. When he gets his hands on the ball, something happens for Carlton. Fantastic start.
You didn't have to tell Fremantle fans who that was.
I'll be happy with the reminder, Hutto.
Blues in front. The former Saint, Jack Nunes, his first goal of the season. Pitternet up against Meek again. Fogarty in the midfield group for Carlton. Scramble is on. It's Curnow, experienced one. And the up and under kick. Giro versus Cottrell. Just maybe held on for a moment. That was enough for the whistle. And it's going Fremantle's way. A sub first round, but earned his spot in the team. They had plenty of injuries that day, Fremantle. Against Melbourne going down. Michael Wilson's painted himself into a corner here, but he didn't want to compound one error with another, but that's a win for Carlton because the left foot kick goes out of bounds and it is deemed deliberate. So that is a win for the Blues. Deep kick. Casbolt hits it hard. Conker's kick was shut down. Gibbons, in turn, gets the same treatment. And we're going to have another ball up.
It's pretty impressive by the Blues to close the outlet for the switch of play. That's what put Wilson under so much pressure, having to backtrack.
From the flick down. Scramble out of the area quickly by Wilson. Coming straight back, though. Jones with the handoff. Walsh feeds it all the way back to Parks. The debutant to the pocket. Mackay's there. Fist will come. Ball skims to the back. And it scrapes through for a behind. But the pressure is there that David Teague asked for from his Blues early.
There's an opportunity at ground level inside that forward 50 for Carlton at the moment. I'm looking at Gibbons. I'm looking at Betts when he's down there. There's a crumb to be had.
Ryan gives it plenty, but Carlton have the numerical advantage. The fist from Plowman. Hasn't gained them too much ground. Under pressure, the young man Chapman penalised holding the ball in his second game. And Fogarty comes up with it, wants to insert it quickly, came off the bit of the instep, but Mackay read it, and he did everything except take the mark. Hughes gets the treatment, there's pressure on. Ryan slapped it out of there. And Plowman, the last in line, gathers it again, and they reset to attack, although that was a bit slippery for Casbolt. And they've got some numbers and they've got runners forward. Taberner the closest to goal. Walters will know that. He'll hear the voice on the outside as well of Akers. But a big win for the Blues, and they can bounce off half-back, or can they?
Crunch! Meat in the sandwich tackle was huge. Darcy one way, and Sarong the other, and Dow gets up slowly. Good contest early. Brayshaw out wide to Giro. Who does he want? Slips it straight to Collier. Danced his way through the pocket. Opened up the angle. Brilliant. Opened it up. Did everything right. Second goal for the Dockers.
How good was that kicking? Honestly, inside the middle of the ground here, there was a couple of turnovers, but they were hard fought. Both teams committed. And the big tackle from Darcy on Paddy Dow, which set up this going forward. Liam Jones slips over at the wrong time. He did well there, turn a bump into a tackle.
It's a hot ball at the moment.
Yeah.
It's a hot ball. Pressure's at its greatest, but you just can't stroll through the middle of the ground here at Marvel. Got to get the ball on. Quicker decisions required.
And you might think beautiful, but the ground's actually quite slippery. It's quite soft, especially at the forward end that Fremantle are kicking to at the moment. You see Liam Jones slipping over there.
And the coach will be happy. So far, so good in terms of their accuracy in front of goal. Round one, they kicked 8-10 Fremantle and had 5 complete misses. And then last week, 11 goals, 21. 2 straight so far. And they've got the lead back. Meek, this time against Casbolt. And a loose ball to be won. And it's going Freo's way again out of the middle as their youngsters combine. Sarong. And then Terra's kick was smothered. Good determination by Williams. He gave a little incidental shove in the back, just away from the ball, and the umpire spotted it and immediately deemed the infraction as Brayshaw back to Sarong, delayed the kick slightly. Walters stayed down, and Plowman heads through the pack with great expertise and takes the mark to ease the squeeze a little for the Blues. So from their last line of defence, Plowman finds Doherty and then Nunes out wide. So far so good on the way out for Carlton. Brings it back in to give Petreski-Seaton a good look ahead. And he spots Silvani in amongst 3 Dockers and takes the mark on the wing. Freo by 4.
Cripps forward at the moment. All the way back to Wiedering. Doherty now at half-back. And again, Cripps too far for that kick to travel. Jones takes it. Now they've got Cripps and Mackay as their options. Mackay leads. It's a spear. Just put a ribbon around it and put it on his chest.
The kick from Doherty was fantastic. Back into the corridor, took all the risks, hit Jones, and Jones said, I'm not going to waste this. Gone inside 50 6 times now. Need a better return than what they've had so far. That was a great lead, well-timed, and a dart.
That's Liam Jones's best ever kick. Seriously good.
Okay. 145 games worth. That's not Mackay's best ever.
No.
Kicked 4 straight last week, but that was never a chance.
It was a great battle, wasn't it, against Darcy Moore. Against Moore, he kicked 3 of his 4 goals. Had 7 disposals, 4 marks. Moore himself took 5 marks and 14 disposals in that duel. They were both very effective players for their team. There was much debate about who won the battle. Mackay kicked 4 for the day, or the night as it was. Wilson, he can give it plenty. It's a highest of high balls. Late spoil from Wiedering. Ash couldn't collect it. Still plenty of crumbs and plenty of Freo players there to help out. Brayshaw bought some room for Conker. Didn't want to go left. Instead, it's right to Brayshaw. So they're being held up again here by Carlton. Good, effective defensive frame ahead. Mundy took Cripps on. Sard was spoilt from behind by Chera, who's going to get involved in the chain potentially. No, Darcy decides to go inboard. Schiltz, oh, he almost hung on. Good work, good determination from Cottrell. Petreski-Seaton, pressure all around. Plowman stood up. Fogarty takes it to Betts. And his 200th game for the Blues. He takes the mark and travels around that city wing.
Toward Mackay. Couldn't grab the half volley. It was a little low from the boot of Betts. Wanted to hit him on the chest. Back in, first game, Eddie Betts. 184 games for the Blues the first time around. 16 second time around so far. Tossed in the air. Palm down from Meek. Fogarty clears it back to Mackay. He's having an impact. Half held. Carlton fans thought fully held. Conker back towards half forward. Taberner and Jones. That's been a good battle. And the one-on-ones are back in 2021. And Hutto, you mentioned Plowman getting goals kicked on him. There's going to be a few defenders with a few more goals kicked on them this year than previous years.
Yeah, well, Jacob Wiedering talked during the week about how they've just had to slightly adjust the way they defend, be a bit more assertive, both he and Liam Jones. Meek flicked it out the back. Ace couldn't find a path out of there. The tackling was outstanding, but the ball continued in motion, and Frederick dives in and takes the mark, and Sarong and Brayshaw are getting plenty of the football already, the young midfield for Fremantle.
They got away with the one there, Fremantle. That should have been dropping the ball. That's the perfect tackle. He hasn't disposed of that correctly in any way, shape or form. But I like the work of Frederick. He took Saad to the goal square. Saad doesn't want to be in the goal square. So that's a big win for a young player.
Kicked 1 goal, 2 last week. Originally draft pick number 61, and that is purely struck as well. So a great start for the Dockers.
Outside out.
And early headaches for David Teague. It's 3 straight 18 to 139. And the major difference, I suppose, is their efficiency inside 50 at the moment.
They're doing a lot right, Carlton. They really are. I mean, their pressure's been fantastic, but they're just being outsmarted in the Fremantle forward line. Plowman's won some big one-on-ones down there with Walters. That's the matchup that we're all watching. But just look here. Frederick takes Saad to the goal square. There's no time to roll and change with other defenders. He gets him on the fast break lead.
Just game 12 for Michael Frederick. Brother Martin is on Port Adelaide's list. Hasn't been able to get a game for Port Adelaide so far. And here's a live wire playing out of the goal square, as David King told you. Back in the middle. Pitternet, Darcy into the ruck. Cripps attending the centre square for the bounce. Gave it to Walsh. So Batman and Robin combining beautifully there to get it out to Cottrell. Setterfield, the late out for Carlton. Oscar McDonald, their sub for the Blues. Fogarty. Sits it up for Cripps, put it in front of him nicely. Starting to find a bit of it. Who does he want with the kick? Murphy almost had a piece of it. Nunes quickly wrapped up. Curnow in the congestion. Walsh wing tackled. Manufactured a kick. Mackay might not have been the full measurement required anyway. Cox to Hughes. Out of trouble. Maybe temporarily. Jones had a piece of it. Flick back. Walsh. Curnow wrapped up, arms free. Cottrell back to the hot spot, hits the deck off the hands of Hughes, comes to Silvani, tried to find some space, wasn't a lot there. Fogarty hands it up. Walsh, this is his moment, almost missed his boot, got a kick away. Cox was waiting in the hole. He feeds it back out. Saad with the Jets, had the speed, didn't have the poise to get a handball or a target. Comes back to Silvani, to Pitternet. No. But again, that pressure is there from Carlton.
Well, at least with that score, we get to change the Sharon, because I don't think the boys were too keen playing with that one. They were just absolutely butchering their kicks left, right, and centre.
Oh, speaking of which, Young's kick has been intercepted by Fogarty.
Well, with the new rules, that's a cardinal sin.
Yep.
I mean, he can run to that point where he's kicked the intercept mark. He can run to there and drive it to the wing. So that's just a complete brain fade from the young player in Hayden Young. So this is the opportunity that Carlton need. They need a bit of composure, particularly in the forward half. Everything's happening at breakneck speed.
Originally picked 22 for the Cats. He's made an excellent start in the navy blue. Fogarty steps up. Others have missed. He hits.
Had a few injuries at the Cats and just couldn't get the run that he knew he could in terms of what talent this young man has. And now he's slotted in brilliantly. A good pre-season at the Blues. 20 and 21 disposals in rounds 1 and 2. And great work there to intercept on that. Already 7 disposals in this game and a goal for Fogarty.
And Hayden Young is a beautiful kick of the football normally.
He won't make that mistake again, Hayden Young. That's just one you have to write off. A young player. Need a couple of senior members to get to him and just say, settle down, go again.
They're good early numbers, aren't they, for Lockie Fogarty? 21 disposals, 5 score involvements against the Pies, 20 disposals, 8 score involvements against the Tigers.
Another good bounce to restart it. Darcy got a hand on it. Towed off the deck as Chera was about to collect it. Darcy almost missed his fist with a handball attempt, but Sarong mopped it up, made it look good. Mundy, Chera. Speed out wide, Wilson. Walters lurking forward, Plowman right with him, not giving him any space. In their direction, though, won't get the jump at it. Wiedering front spot, Taberner from behind. And now the race on to get it. And a little overzealous with the tackle attempt, Sam Petrevski-Seton. And Switkowski, who was brilliant last week, has got it within range.
That's the gap in the game at the moment. Carlton are just too bull at a gate. Their effort's fantastic. Their intent to get onto the ball or get onto the opposition player is first rate. But they've got to have some level of composure once they arrive at the contest or with their skill execution.
He's got the speed. Switkowski's become a good player for the Dockers. He was the man assigned to run with Cyril the days when he was at Hawthorn and Box Hill at training. And if you can keep up with Cyril, you can keep up with anybody. He misses to the near side. Only a behind.
Kicked 2 goals 3 last week, so he was one of the offenders in terms of the accuracy. Saad, he takes all the ground that's on offer and then some. 3 bounces, got to defensive 50 before launching up to the wing. Silvani tried to have his own launch but mistimed it, and Ryan has been just such a wonderful pickup for the Dockers.
Just watching Mark Murphy, he started at half forward, hasn't been involved in the game. I wonder whether they just need to pull the pin on moving him back into the midfield, give him an opportunity. They need his class right now.
Giro back along the half-forward line. Taberner was in the mix. Mundy, the hands are swift, don't they, for the Dockers? They keep the ball away. Giro, his timing was perfect in terms of his arrival, but not so much of his handling of the football.
Totally agree. You look at what Travis Boker's done. He was pushed out of Port Adelaide's midfield, then he's gone back in there and started to have an impact in the competition again. I think the same could happen in Mark Murphy with the latter part of his career.
Play on the call. Gibbons changed his mind a couple of times, and he put Saad in a real hot spot, but he's strong enough and good enough to get through. Gibbons kept on going to get in the chain and to the outside. Cottrell darting, and then the eyes were lowered at the perfect moment. Fogarty quickly turns, gets it towards full forward. Maybe that was the wrong decision. Williams had plenty of competition. Giro's left foot kick will send Fremantle on their way, although just decides to press pause for a moment. Sarong. And then back to Giro again. So Carlton certainly not making the most of their entries into the forward 50. 2 goals 4 is their return. Meek came from the side, made the spoil. Dow hasn't been involved in the game yet. And Wiedering's kick was just slap dash straight back to Giro, so we'll do it all again.
Thought about the inside kick, it was shut down. So back to the Darcy-Meek combination. Meek was beaten for it by Wiedering, who thumped it all the way in towards Cripps territory. He ran into Walsh, gets it back anyway, tries to strip the ball away towards Dow. He gave it to Walsh. Sam Petrevski-Seton row block. Chapman with a tackle. Carlton fans screaming for in the back. And they gave the umpire the noise of affirmation, but no free. Big pack around this ball up. Pironet, Meek, Sarong, read to perfection. Couldn't find a pass target. Darcy almost the half volley. Walters wanted to get it and go. Toe poke from Saad. The collect was delightful. A bounce, a second one. Nunes. Casbolt wants it long. He had the space. He was screaming for it. It's a shorter kick to Murphy, who gets involved now. Sends it to the goal square. Casbolt stands under it. Big pack. Silvani, Crumb. And that floats into the behind post. Not so bad for the Blues. They'll get a ball in.
Just been watching Patrick Cripps. He is flying around the ground at the moment. Complete contrast to round 2 against the Pies. He's on the move. He's getting forward to the ball.
I thought that was touched. It wasn't. It was on the foot.
Yeah, David Teague was strong in the fact that the 10-day break would suit him and he'd be close to his physical best. And the mark is paid to Parks. On debut for the Blues. Luke Parks, 19-year-old. He's good size. Going to launch this one to the top of the square. Lots of Dockers back. Cox, Silvani for Carlton. And it's a free to Silvani. In front of goal. Jack Silvani being held.
Clear it behind you. Clear it, guys.
7 disposals and a goal, and he was subbed off after just 50 minutes in the opening round with injury. You see him just at the back of the small picture. Maybe just the jumper being held down there by Luke Ryan. So with 2 goals for, this is a must for the Blues to give them the lead with just under 3 minutes to go in the opening term. That hurts.
Yeah, to suck the air out of Marvel Stadium. Blues fans were hoping to go up. Jones, he goes up. Comes down with the Sharon. Casbolt's on the move. Silvani from 4 deep. Went up, knocked it down. Eddie Betts was lurking. Walsh, become a star to Mackay. And now the Blues fans are up.
There's a big day on the offering there inside that Carlton forward 50 at ground level. Dropping the ball to the top of the goal square, there's going to be numbers. There's going to be a marking contest, 6 to 8 bodies generally. Look at that. It's going to drop. Absolutely front and square. 3 Carlton players. Walsh was brilliant. One-touch football. Unselfish. Look at this. Absolutely front and square there from Williams. Perfect play.
11 disposals for Sam Walsh in the opening term. 7 of them handballs. Last week he had 29 disposals. 21 of them were handballs. That was extremely effective, and what a player he is, Sam Walsh, part of the big future along with Harry Mackay that Carlton fans are hoping for. He's played 42 consecutive games now since debut. So they've hit the front. Just over 2 minutes remaining in this opening term, but it's the Dockers getting going. Ace. Jones has come back off his man Darcy. He's got good protection from behind from Wiedering.
Wherever Darcy goes, he just can't. He's trying different things to get Liam Jones away from the ball, but Jones is just too good in reading that play. He's having a huge say in this first quarter.
Best and fairest winner from last year for the Blues. Wiedering to Doherty, and out the other side with Parks. Oh, it's a sloppy kick. Just off the instep. Brayshaw with the gather to Wilson. Decided to keep the handballs going. Akers, and up and under. Can someone get a run and a jump? Well, Jones and Wiedering did. Could have gone anywhere at the back of the pack. As we get down to Sarah Jones.
Zach Williams has limped off the field, headed straight down to the race. We'll keep an eye on him.
This is White.
Just in the tackle here, Chapman behind. Just
the ankle, lower leg, and the ball in. Again, it's Walsh doing it at both ends. He's wrapped up, no prior. So that'll be a ball up.
It's been everywhere, Walsh. 11 disposals already in this first term. The work rate's just outstanding.
And he's been Carlton's leading possession winner first 2 weeks of the season. He continues to raise his level, which is pretty difficult to do because his early level of his career has been outstanding. Push and shove. 1 minute 13 left in this opening quarter. Dangerous spot for a ball up. Down to Dow. He drops it as he was tackled by Mundy. Doherty caught by Walters. And he saddled him up. And Wrestle moved him. And we'll get another ball up.
Sean, Mark, Sam, Lockie.
Last minute of the opening term from Marvel Stadium. A tight match, as you would expect, between Carlton and Fremantle. That's what they always deliver. Blues at least clear the immediate danger from their point of view, and Curnow and Dow starting to get into the action, linking up with Walsh. It wasn't perfect, but Curnow tidied it up, and they can still get something going with good effect. Against the clock with 40 seconds. Silvani's been prominent, got him where he wanted to, tries to work around Chapman, did to good effect, got loose, delivered the ball beautifully on a platter to Gibbons, and he will take the time on offer and take the shot.
Ed Curnow, he just went harder at that ball across the half-back flank. He wanted it more. Walters come from the other direction at 100 miles an hour. He went the bump. Curnow went the ball. Great leadership.
Already 5 goals, Michael Gibbons, this year, including some absolute crackers from close to the boundary. This, a set shot on the siren from 40 metres out. And I don't think he's even scored. So Carlton have finished with 3 goals, 5 in the first quarter. They could have kicked so much more. They do have the lead, though. It's a 4-point ball game at Marvel Stadium.
On fire. 12 disposals first quarter. He's everywhere. He's been the offensive machine for Carlton so far. Williams would be a huge loss.
Chera alongside him as we get ready for the start of the second term from Marvel Stadium. Pitnet got the tap, and Cripps beat Sarong to the footy. Fogarty's been pretty good so far, and he's off the left boot. And here comes Mackay.
Well, Kingy, I reckon he got the grippo out at quarter time and got it on the hands. It was sticky that time. He dropped a couple in the first quarter, but it was more his release to create that separation from his direct opponent. Smart play, smart kick from Fogarty.
Hope he didn't get too much on the hands, Jono, because marking it's one thing, it's the ball drop.
Well, you can see under the AFL symbol, he's got plenty of grippo there.
So he's 35 metres out, and these goal-kicking woes, as we all know, can be very contagious, and that's the way it feels right now. The next kick becomes even harder than the last. 3 goals, 6, and a couple that didn't even trouble the scorers. The margin is 5.
Long launch all the way to the wing. Taberner makes the contest. Wiedering with the fist. Curnow clever. Down to Walsh. Hottest man on the ground. Couple of spins. Put him in the spin cycle. Got the handball to Curnow. Found Gibbons. And out wide Murphy. Couple of lead options. Mackay, the go-to man. He slapped it down. And you marking wasn't an option. Curnow, a little bit of front-on contact. Yeah. Chera pleads his case. Has he got this kick in him, Ed Curnow? What's he going to do here?
Don't think he thinks he has.
No. So now he's going to have to manufacture something, but he's got essentially 16 dockers ahead of him. Thought about pulling the kick late. Now he opens up the angle. He's got plenty on it. That's going, gone! One of Ed's all-time best.
Take that, Kingy. I'm not sure. He said it just played it out on the run, I think. Was going to look like he was going to kick to the top of the square. Ended up getting a bit close to the man on the mark, so then had to play on and take him on, and thought, well, I've come this far, I might as well finish it off.
It was a good kick from Murphy, put in a really dangerous area and created all sorts of panic for the Freo back 6. He drew the free kick. He made sure the umpire was aware of it. What a finish. He brings energy, Curnow. I mean, he's one of those guys that's so popular amongst this group. Anything he does, particularly that impacts the scoreboard, he brings the troops with him.
Suddenly they jump out to an 11-point advantage. What a consistent performer Ed Curnow has been. They moved him around a little, but back in the middle of the ground primarily. Right now, though, it's Cripps linking with him, and they get to the outside. Pitnet got the favourable bounce, which opens up some possibilities for Cottrell. Tarkowski did well in his pursuit. Doherty back to Cottrell. Now Fogarty off the left boot. Another inside 50 for the former Cat. Casbolt was there, and he hangs on. And the Fremantle defence is really being tested now.
The Fogarty impact is becoming quite significant in this game. He sent one up to Mackay, who couldn't kick the goal.
Around he goes.
That's another one now. The two keys for the Blues, missing some easy shots at goal. That's 4 sitters in this game now for the Blues.
Yeah, it's a different looking game right now of Carlton 7 goals 4.
Yep.
Could easily have been. Again, that long kick. Pitternet, Darcy got up there. Edged him under the contest. Jones. Plowman. Murphy turned his back, turned around. The Sherrin was nearly there for him. Wilson, little give. Chapman, again, blasted away. Shorts has to go against 3. Jones with the reach.
He's loving playing on the resting ruckman, Liam Jones. He is doing what he likes.
Doherty, Sard, you know he wants to run. Too quick for his own feet there. Slipped, floats it. Darcy, under it. Chest mark.
Mark Murphy was sizing that. Is there any way I can get around Darcy? I think he's came to the obvious conclusion. Frederick, now short, finds a young man who is continuing to impress. Brayshaw, possession 7, plays it wide, and now it's Akers. Parks stands the mark. Blake Akers, former Saint, been playing a bit of time on Nunes, his old teammate, this afternoon on the wing, up to half forward. Pitnet fashioned something out of there. Dow would have liked to have been cleaner, and his recovery was pretty good, though, as you saw. Gibbons, and then Parks measured it. There's no room for any further width on the kick. And Murphy couldn't keep going, but at least they maintained possession. We know they've been inaccurate, but what they have been is being able to get lots of shots. 12 shots from 16 entries.
Walsh has snuck forward here. He slipped Chera.
And Nunes. Casbolt's probably too far out to score. Air of expectation. Mackay looking for a free kick. He's going to get it. It was the barest of grasp from Reece Conker, but it was enough.
Well, they just need one. They just need someone to take control of this game. They need someone to take responsibility for the football club, and it's over to you, Harry. It's a dominant performance in this term. It should be a 5-goal margin. It's not. They need to get this on the scoreboard, the Blues.
Well, it's a 12-point margin. And now it's 18 as Mackay kicks his second.
How dangerous would Mackay look?
Carlton's dominance of this game now finally being reflected on the scoreboard.
It is. He's so dangerous, such a threat up forward. He leads strong. He now stands under the contest and creates it to bring the ball to ground, and just gets away here. Just patient with his movement. Great block from Eddie. And then Conke just had to hold.
So a double win for the Blues. Goal and Zach Williams back out there. Deadeye Mackay slots that. And it's 4 goals in a row for Carlton. Meek dances around the circle. Sizes up Pitternet. Meets him. Just past the outstretched hands of Walsh with Fogarty. Hands it up to Williams. And here's Mackay again. Not paid the mark. Bizarre. Thought he controlled that. Murphy flicks it over his head. Dow's there with Young. Fremantle dodge a huge bullet. Young dragged that in. Still in the congestion. Walsh wants to get it out. Tries to flick it free. He did. Straight into the hands of Chera. Wobbly ball. Bouncing ball. Petrescu-Seaton. Back to Jones. Slams it on the boot. Gets it to a good spot. Casbolt, not the second grab. Conker collects. Little Dan stepped back. He tried to moonwalk out of there. Caught by 1. Got a handle to Conker. Fantastic pressure, the Blues. Crowd really rising with them. Mark to Jones, who's dominating just forward of the wing.
Yeah, you've identified it a few times, Jono. That's really not working for them at the moment, is it? With Darcy against Jones. He goes long, and Mackay. Well, the pressure is immense on this Fremantle defence, and well, it's just coming in time and time again, and Mackay is a huge beacon for them up forward. And if he's kicking straight, the Blues could be much further ahead. The game being played in one half of the ground right now. Mackay desperately trying to get his breath back. And around he goes for his third. Carlton lead by 24 points, and there's plenty of issues for that man.
Well, he is the dominant presence inside that forward 50. I mean, we've had a lot of big bodies forward of the ball, but no one comes at the ball like Harry Mackay. Look at that. That's a mark every day of the week. But he gets on with it. Next opportunity that comes in, he sets himself. Some great work going on by Eddie Betts in the background. Almost free kick worthy, but just look, let's talk about this guy and what he's bringing for Carlton. 20 entries inside 50, 9 of them have gone to that man. What a presence.
He's 23 years of age now. He's really growing before our eyes into, maybe given the new rules in 2021, this could be his year.
He's thinking bag, Dwayne. He's thinking big bag today.
Justin Longmuir's going to have to reach into his bag and find something quickly. Fogarty slips it out. Williams on the run. Looked around, he knew he had options. Doherty coming off the half-back square. And that's too wide, way too wide.
Well, what he has to do, I think he has to change that into just do Darcy and Meeks on and off the bench if he can. He needs to change his forward structure to try and make Jones more accountable to maybe a Taberner or someone that's got a little bit more movement in their game. It's not so stationary up and down the line.
Ace down the line. Taberner had to compete with 3, and at least they get it over the line and out of bounds. Carlton 147 disposals to 91. They lead the clearance count 12-7, something Freo have been good at so far this year. And the contested possession is plus 15. Again, that's a stat where Fremantle have been excellent through their first 2 weeks. Carlton right on top. Dow out to the wing. Mackay again with Cox. Well up the ground this time. Cox stuck to his task, but they keep it moving, the Blues. Murphy, a chase. Silvani starts behind. It was uncomfortable though for Ryan because he knew the moment he picked it up, he was going to be taken in the tackle. And Carlton fans loving everything at the moment. They're loving life for the moment.
Well, Sam Walsh is the other problem. I mean, they need to start thinking about a tag. He's up to 14 disposals now.
Yeah, the Dockers with no one in double figures yet. Slightly shallow throwing. Again, he gets another handball, Walsh, to Dow. Nunes, his back pocket, tosses it up. Silvani didn't quite get there. Hughes didn't quite take the mark. Ryan, Akers, Chera, and everything's under pressure at the moment, whether it be real or perceived for Fremantle.
A couple of the barometers for Fremantle just can't get near it at the moment. Schultz has only had the 1 disposal. Walters with the 1. Young hasn't touched it yet. Normally gets that run and drive off half-back for Fremantle.
Cripps doing the ruck work here, and he gets on the end of it, puts the Jets on, and then can't spin it around the body. It looked really good until it didn't. Let's hope he's okay. They've lost their first 2 games this season, Carlton, but against finals teams from last year, against quality opposition. One of them the best team of the decade, in essence, Richmond. And they're looking splendid at the moment. Cripps, great core strength. Here's Walsh again. He's got his own Sharon. Silvani out there. Was he grabbed?
Carlton holding. What?
Silvani, he was grabbed. They were holding each other.
Great call, Dwayne. I thought that as well. I thought they just locked onto each other.
Out.
It's 11 inside 50s to nothing in the second quarter at the moment. They've already kicked 3 goals too. They were just a mirror image of each other then, weren't they?
Yeah, exactly.
Presumption is often that the defender does the grabbing, but it's a trick learned in the Silvani household sometimes. And he squeezes this to the wrong side.
I reckon that's how Stephen used to put them to bed, Dwayne, in the wrestle.
Yeah, they've both got each other there.
Yeah.
So So Wilson tiptoes into the back pocket and then it stays in or doesn't? No. Just away from Cox. We'll have a throw. So Fremantle need to find a way to ease the squeeze on their defence and get the ball somehow into their forward half. 87% of the time it's lived at Carlton's end, which is where we see it now from this throw-in. Pitnet grabs it and jams it. Conker stripped immediately by Fogarty, who continues to endear himself to Carlton fans. Wilson found a way to get it clear. Parks, that's not going to be paid. Sard found some room, uses Cottrell. Williams into the pocket. It was a bit of a sitting duck that time. Walsh, good fist from Cox. Giro, can they get on their way out and get it forward? Mundy tackled by Petreski-Seaton, and it goes straight back to Cottrell. And they can't hem them in. Wiedering stretches the handball to Williams. Slick ball mover by the Blues. Petreski-Seaton got some space to work in. To Plowman, they work laterally for the moment. Eyes up Mackay. No free kick for that. Yes. And his own umpire decided to pay it. And Mackay probably fancies just a little too far. Top of the square. Cripps. Silvani. Walsh hits a brick wall. Silvani. Cripps. The skipper. Trying to forge a path through and he'll be penalised.
Back to 9. Back to 9. Back to 9.
Fremantle need a hero in a hurry here. It's a half-court game at the moment. All being played in one half. Young. Back pocket. Taberner comes up. Can't clutch it. Blues get the numbers around it again. Fogarty having the game of his life. To Plowman. He's having some fun. Cripps got there late. Got fingertips on it, Ryan. Wilson. Young. Giro. And Frederick's out wide. Should have Doherty covered for pace, but the ball sat on his head. And he wins himself a free for an arm chop.
Takes the kick into the middle to Meat. And the big man
Stay with him, Mark. Stay with him.
tries to work out what's the next logical step. Face says it all. He's got no idea what to do. A hand pass to Hughes was an interesting choice. Brayshaw gives Hughes the second crack. He wobbles it just about into the crowd. They have no idea at the moment, Fremantle, how to get their system going. They're just going to try and hang tough if they can. Williams through the fingertips, but gifted an opportunity. Schiltz kept his balance and Taberner at last. Oh, he dropped it. Can you believe that? I can't do anything right at the moment. Frederick. Oh, even he slipped over after taking it.
Well, that was a late whistle. I think he thought the umpire was going to call not 15 play on.
He was smart enough to make the umpire make that call.
Yes.
So he shuffles in. Gives it plenty. It was never close to being online, but they have at least got it inside 50 and at least scored in this second term. So the Carlton advantage is reduced by 1 to 24.
That's Fremantle's first inside 50 for the quarter in 17 minutes of football.
Casbolt gets there, got hands on it, couldn't complete the deal. Did pretty well there, the second gamer. Heath Chapman, midfielder and a forward as a kid, but defender last 3 seasons there. Pick 14 from last year's draft, Heath Chapman. So won't mind where he gets taken. And he's on Cripps right now. So what a job for the second gamer as he heads back towards half back. Walsh looks up, got it again. Curnow happy to take the contact, ride the bump, wear the bruise, and try and keep possession. The super draft, he was at the top of it. Sam Walsh, been a lot of talk about the guys and how good they are picked below him, but he might still be the best of them come 7 or 8 years from now. Ball hacked off the deck. How will the umpire read that? Deliberate. Free kick Blues.
Yeah, all your Port Adelaide mates have been pushing their all their causes, Plano.
That's true. With for Butters or Rosé?
Oh, take your pick. They've got some pretty good evidence, haven't they? But yeah, Walsh has been outstanding. Doherty to the wing. Some big bodies in the road. Darcy.
Interference.
Free kick going instead to the Carlton skipper. Just pops it to half forward. You can see the pathway. Casbolt. Mickey Gibbons decides to share it with Silvani. He wanted to share it, and he does. Mackay's taken another mark. He trusts his right boot. He didn't want to go back and have the shot. He gets the result, and he's kicked 4.
He's looking at 10. He's eyeing off 10. The bags are back, and he's thinking, they haven't got anyone for me today. He is a massive presence in this forward line. I mean, that was an easy opportunity to have a shot at goal there for Silvani, but he just knows that anywhere near Harry, and he's got them covered. There's Cripps on the wing. He's moving far better today than last week. He's getting involved. The co-captain, he's been fantastic. But this man inside forward 50 is separating the game.
Still an enormous amount of time left in this game. Fremantle need a momentum changer in a hurry. 8 minutes to half-time. It's a dangerous 8 minutes for the Dockers because Carlton can smell blood here. Casbolt down towards Mundy. Even he can't pick it up. Darcy, Brayshaw, Mundy, their superstar from last week and all his life. Hands it back to Young. Sends it wide. Thumped away. Ball into Parks. Parks' life. All the people hand in hand clapping his effort there.
Yeah, he's done some nice things in this game.
He was one of the fish that John West rejected, in essence. He was part of the Sydney Academy, couldn't get onto their list. Dow, kick smothered. Mundy pops it back. Front of Sarong, Taberner coming the other way. Towed off the deck by Wiedering. Good attack, Brayshaw. Flicks it back, and Doherty read it to perfection.
Is he a good recruiter, John West?
Normally gets the best, Hutto.
Plowman to Petreski Seaton.
I think he's got an academy.
And now Nunes. Carlton's lead is 30. 15 scoring shots to 5. As the Blues just monopolise possession for the time being. They don't have to be in a hurry particularly. They do want to keep it moving forward though, and Cripps does just that. And Casbolt's playing his part, getting involved in linking the chains up. Cottrell, Doherty running out of defence and wants to be part of the action forward. And again, Michael Gibbons takes the mark. Decent distance from goal to be going around the corner. There's a quick look up onto the scoreboard to see how many seconds have elapsed. To move the luggage to the photographer. And if he kicks this goal, it'll be a snap worth taking. Across the face and off hands. Ooh, Harry thought he was in business again there.
Chapman. So Taberner's got 2 to beat. Pinnonet the second man in. Wiedering held his ground. Walters got a little flick to the ear.
Fremantle.
See if Walters can spark them. Switkowski. Walters runs. Handed back to him. Plowman shut him down. Forced a kick to Schultz in the middle of a 4-pack. Curnow had it. Dropped it. Frederick spins it around the body. He needs to bounce. He got a touch just last line of defence. Cottrell to push it through for a behind. Otherwise, it was a goal.
We know both sides have got a substantial injury list, but Freo wouldn't mind that 5 out there right now. Kick goes towards Nunes, slips through the fingers, Schultz, and there's Walters again. Back in the team this week for 5. High ball forward, and Jones, or not, is upended. And a fence on the free kick out of zone. Umpire paid it. Umpire close, didn't see it the way most others did. And the free kick is going to Liam Jones for that. Dragged down by Schultz. There's a blood rule as well by the sound of it.
Well, he's taken 5 intercept marks, and that's a free kick. So he's been the one-man roadblock that Fremantle just cannot get around. Jono, you talked about the matchup, but the ball use, the pattern has to change in the build-up. They've got to find targets somewhere between 50 to 70 from goal rather than bombing it in.
There was a bit of talk in Perth this week that Josh Tracy might make his debut, the 18-year-old from Kahuna and Bendigo, who's kicked 7, I think, last week at lower level. But they decided, they bought him on the trip, but decided not to pick him in the team today. So they win the ball back. They're at least spending a bit of time in the forward half here, Fremantle. Taberner is a long way from goal. He realises that he's kicked in a haste and turned it straight back over.
Like, seriously, like when you look at someone like Taberner who can kick 2 or 3 in a game, he's dropping marks inside 50, lazy kicks. It's just got to be better, and that's the collective from Fremantle at the moment.
Doherty to Walsh, well, wouldn't you? Couldn't take the mark this time, and he's not happy with himself. 18 possession half so far. We've still got 5 minutes and 4 seconds left.
Of course, we talk about Fife being out, but I guess it's the big guys in defence, isn't it? Like Hamling and Pearce, who got injured in round 1, they'd love to have back.
Carlton would like to have Charlie Curnow. And
Yeah, acknowledge that.
Nunes inside, Plowman, Doherty. Switkowski came at him, slick hands, Fogarty, heads long. Mackay, can he get there to make a contest? Silvani, first in the pursuit. Shut down, somehow manufactured a handball to Parks. Gibbons turns boundary side, heads long, Casbolt. Big jump, Eddie Betts turns back the clock. In his 200th game as a Blue.
Give the fans what they want, Jono. Give them what they want.
Exactly.
What an entertainer this guy is. There was never a doubt, was there? He was always going to kick that.
Stand up and enjoy that one, because where he comes from, behind the contest, once he saw it just bobble away, he pounced. Look at that, it's 5 for Eddie, and Eddie wins.
Carlton fans loving this. Eddie Betts, game 200 as a Blue. Only once won their leading goal kicker award. Did it 4 times at Adelaide.
That just showed then from Fremantle, they're waiting for someone else to do it. 5 of them standing around, allowing Eddie Betts just to waltz through, kick a beauty.
I'm glad they did.
Crowd chanting Eddie. 36 points the margin. Doc is desperate to turn things around late in this quarter. Sonny Walters did an awesome job to win that single-handedly, and Darcy doesn't let him down.
Great response. Great response. Big centre-bounce clearance to win. Game sliding, as you said. They're lacking a bit of leadership out there today with Fife not there. Some of the key pillars down back, but they knew they had to do something to stay in this game. And Michael Walters, he has to be the man, unfortunately. First game back. But that's so creative. I mean, Darcy could do nothing else but stand there and just receive the handball. Great work here from Walters. Great persistence and a good finish.
Breaks a run of 7 Carlton goals in a row. Second game of the season for Sean Darcy. Emergency round 1. Travelling emergency. Huge role to play in this second half. Just still 4 minutes away from finishing this first half. So can they parlay that little bit of momentum into another one? Sarong takes off. Taberner and Walters. Collect by Taberner. And he makes the most. No, he doesn't. It was there for him. Couple of drop marks, some missed shots. Could have been closer. Jones plays on. Heads in the Cripps direction. Got some separation from his man and took a good double grabber.
Quick hands to Murphy, and the Blues can get going again. Silvani leading well up the ground. And kicking with precision to half forward. Curnow, he too wanted to get it quickly. Handball to Ruckman. Pitnet. Back to Sard. and plays it wide and effectively into the space. Fogarty can see the next step. It was right in front of him. And Mark Murphy kept on running, and he takes the mark. Didn't want to go back. He's just chipped it. He's passed it through for a goal. Well, they say just kick it over the goal umpire's head. He wanted to land it on top.
The work rate from Murphy was exceptional there. We asked early how he can get himself involved into the game. Well, he's just decided to run 5 kilometres this quarter. He started that possession chain in the back pocket, classy ball use on the wing, and just followed up. It's a 200-metre run, really. Great finish. Outstanding leadership.
And Fogarty, what a half as well, from a Carlton point of view. Top-ranked player on the ground, over 100 ranking points in a half of footy for Lockie. Just enormous. His ability to use the ball well inside forward 50 has been on display in this game.
Tossed in the air. Pitternet, Meek, Cripps, 2 hanging off him. Superman hanging off him like a cape, and he's slammed into the deck. Free kick. And will it be 50?
Well, that should be 50
well, it should be
for moving on the mark.
Exactly, told to stand.
Cripps out towards Doherty, flicked away by Switkowski. And they do dodge a bullet there, Fremantle. And Cripps, well, he's not far away from getting a restrap, maybe. New jumper, reset. He's had a 10-day rest coming into this. Much needed. Pitternet caught behind Meek. Knocked to Chera. He was wing tackled, and Walsh, strangely enough, just has it in his arms. Can't get his 19th possession. Ball in.
It's getting a little bit chippy out there now. Bit of feeling coming into the game.
Walsh and Brayshaw, a couple of young guns. They'll be dueling it out for a long time to come, hopefully. A contest split. Walsh tried to just parry it back for Curnow, got disposed of by Mundy. Oh, Walsh climbed on in. Interesting non-decision.
Oh.
Yeah, that's Meek's coming in to protect Brayshaw. He was hit from behind.
Mad Mundy as well.
Well, I thought it was a free kick to Mundy as well, for in the back.
Pitnet out of the ruck, back to the wing. Young will get there first. Casbolt will be coming for him. He didn't take a lot of care. Big Levi.
Oh, he's hurt.
Yeah, he's hurt.
Hopefully Young's okay.
That's a classic corky to the thigh. He come in, and to put it nicely, he got angular. He got all bony there. Casbolt, he comes in, bang, knee into the thigh. All legal, of course.
Of course. Cripps rucking again, bouncing inside 50. It got awkward for Ryan. Tucker's defending desperately. Smart footwork by Aish. Oh, but Jones is having a field day. Takes another mark. They're ready to launch again. Mackay is waiting deep at full forward. Just beyond him with this kick, you'd think. So into the pocket it goes to Casbolt. I knew it was coming. Hughes with the spoil. Eddie tried to keep it alive.
Well done, Eddie Betts.
He's desperate efforts. His blocks we've seen, as well as the goal he kicked.
Yep.
He's played his part.
Thank you, Lloyd. Hold me, Lloyd.
1:28 left in the opening half. Marvel Stadium, Easter Sunday, pushing the back. Fremantle need some steadying influence here. Love to get one late, but certainly don't want to be conceding another. 35 points the margin. Taberner with Wiedering's fist winning out. Eddie Betts taken to the line by Conker. If you joined us late, Fremantle led early. Entering time on opening term. Fremantle had the lead, 7 goals in a row to the Blues. Put them in a dominant position. Pitternet in the ruck. Ball knocked down, and again the Blues with their hard tackling. Cripps leading from the front. We'll get another ball up.
Last 50 seconds of the first half. Pitnet held sway again with a tap. Walsh left it for Murphy. Doc is well positioned. Walters gets a free kick.
Chopping of the arms. Just didn't have a tool there to represent. Eddie had to fly.
Walters takes it wide to Chera.
Stand.
Just his 8th possession coming up. Beautiful kick to half forward. But again, they're just feasting on that, the Carlton defence. Although Pitnet loping after it, the fleet-footed Swakowski underneath him. Wiedering had to go and help out and tidy up for the Blues. Murphy again, basically dropped that in the tackle. The umpire says that's okay, and we'll have a throw in. 13 seconds remaining.
Hold the meter mark.
18 scores to 8 and a 35-point advantage. Fogarty again. Mackay well up the ground this time. Cox got the better of him. This rare occasion. But that is a perfect example of what Carlton have brought today. They've done everything asked of their coach, David Teague. They haven't been particularly accurate, but they have been dominant. And that second quarter belonged to the Blues. And they lead by 35 points at half-time. And they are well on their way, from what we've seen so far, to their first victory of the season. But we've also seen teams come back from beyond this in matches when they get going this year. So they will know that the job is not done yet, but a lot to think about for the Fremantle Dockers. Silvani looks a bit worse for wear. This is why. Got his breath back now. Harry Mackay, the start in the forward half, with 4 goals, 2.
Second half coming up. It looks like Fremantle have jumped with their sub as well. So Liam Henry out there to start this second half.
Yeah, Hayden Young ruled out. Dwayne, we saw that incident late in the second quarter with Levi Casbolt, and he's done for the day.
Well, if the coach is asking for contest, then the first couple here will set the tone of whether they're going to respond for their coach or not, the Fremantle Dockers.
It's the 5th game for Liam Henry. And the bounce to start the second half. Meek with the knockdown. Cripps, Pitnet, feeds it to Sard, off and running from half back. And he drives it in Mackay's direction again. Couldn't quite clutch it this time. Akers, arms free. Only had one-on-ones to kick to. Schultz about to feed back onto it. Plowman got there first. Dak got the handball away. Doherty blasts it. Hughes got up there. Couldn't complete the deal. Chera. Cox didn't have anywhere to go forward. All the way back to Ryan. Last line of defence to Conker. Hemmed in to the back pocket.
And the former Tiger with the driving kick is a good one to Hughes. 5-4 to 1-3 in that second term. Carlton opening up a 35-point lead. Looking for their first win of the season. Dockers trying to make some sort of comeback. Conker favours that wing again. More in hope than anything. Darcy outpointed by Jones. That's been the way it is today. Inside 50, Gibbons. And that's high against Chapman. So Gibbons, who can he hit? Well, the answer was nobody. Mackay lost his footing. And Ryan slipped in to take another mark. Ryan plays it out to Hughes in the back pocket. Oh, yeah. Just a little too wide for Akers. And Petrevski-Seton almost within striking range. Eddie gave him an offering, but he liked something a little closer to goal, and that was Mark Murphy. And he is not going to wait. Again, he juts around. And this time, he's a little astray with his shot for goal.
Smart kick, though, because all eyes were on Mackay deep. And Fremantle had surrounded Mackay, looking to stop the long kick coming in. So smart by Mark Murphy to lead short and good use.
All players in one half of the ground now. Carlton pushed players up from defence. Plowman, good grab. Options are plenty in the corridor. Flicked away. Cripps, he was manhandled, didn't have it. He mesmerised them again there. They were fearful that he was going to get it. Overzealous with the attempt to stop him from getting it.
Well, they've been sloppy all day, Fremantle, and some of that's on the back of the pressure that Carlton's built. Some of it's just the fact that they just haven't cared enough in the contest. That then from Ryan just didn't need to happen. Conker dropped Mark, they put the pressure on to start with. Just the little things they haven't done well today.
Not that he hasn't been in form. 21 possessions round 2, 28 possessions round 1, but he hasn't been in Patrick Cripps' form. But he's finding form now. And the Carlton party continues.
Well, he's angry, Patrick Cripps. He's determined, and he's chucked the Blues back on his shoulders, and he's getting them over the line this afternoon. Just there, Ryan just gets the arms and wraps around Cripps. He creates the body contact. Go backs and nails. He goes back and nails a big goal for the Blues.
He is really amped up, isn't he, this afternoon, Patrick Cripps. 17 disposals and now a goal. Cerra trying to put time into him at these stoppages. Blocking his path. Over the top, Pitnet put it right in his lap. Cerra was there and might have fallen in his back. The young man throws his head back in dismay. But Cripps is about to get Carlton going again. Mackay holds his ground. He goes shorter. He spotted Williams just on the brink here. 65 out. Mackay makes his lead. Ignored by Williams. Casbolt is deep as well. He just plopped it onto the chest, and that's too easy. Mackay's got it again. He'll line up for his 5th.
They've got to make a change here, Fremantle. Cox just had a concentration lapse there. Well, if you're in any doubt where they're going inside forward 50, I'd be surprised. They need to put Ryan to Mackay immediately.
Lining up for career high 5 goals. Still will be lining up for that next time. He's kicked 4 goals on 4 occasions. Harry Mackay. A lot of talk about the contract, of course, of Patrick Cripps, but Mackay's another one. And if he kicks some goals like this, the contract, the number might go up a little bit.
Meek the target. Good fist again from Parks. Dumps out of play. A year in the sandful with Glenelg. Last year, as we can see, Hayden Young done for the afternoon. The Sandford won competition that did play last year, and those that went and played in it put their names in front of teams like Carlton to maybe get drafted, and that's exactly what Luke Parks has done. Big hip and shoulder, front on contact, attempting a tackle though, so it wasn't a hip and shoulder, even though it was gathered with arms around him into his hip and his shoulder. A little too wide for Taberner, and they've wasted. Well, from this angle, it looked like they've wasted it. Carlton fans thought they had. Chip kick inside, off the hands of Petreski-Seton. Dump Henry. Going nowhere. Meek in the middle of it. Petreski-Seton tries to get it out. It'll bounce with Silvani. He's off and running. And he bombs it. He barrels it. Bouncing ball. Might work. Cox to Ryan. Caught high. Had to get that free. So we'll see what Patrick Cripps gets up like here. Hopefully he's okay.
This has been the most pleasing part of what Carlton have done today. In the pre-match, David Teague said we've got to be hard to play against. We've got to be more brutal at the contest. He made a few statements. They've backed it up defensively.
Beautiful kick from Ryan onto the chest of Taberner.
I thought you were going to say the running barrel from half-back, Kingy.
Oh, the highest ball, and again, Pitnet Let his opponent meet to the footy, and he takes the juggling mark. Quickly spreads the hand pass to Nunes. Not particularly easy for Dow. Shovels it back to the traffic. They still find a way out through Curnow and Nunes. Cleared the head of Fogarty. Gibbons tried to tap it to Cottrell. It didn't arrive at the desired destination, and neither did that. It's out on the full.
So last week, Fremantle moved the ball from defensive 50 to inside 50, the best they've ever done. 43% of the time, almost every second opportunity. Today, it's 1 in 10.
Doherty curls it. Silvani waits. Let's have a look at what happened to Patrick Cripps if we can.
Thank you, Levi.
Let's put his stacks on. Looks like he's going to do the dishes there.
Doing everything else.
Be welcome in our house from the throw-in.
You'd make him too.
That'll get back.
Levi short.
Get a dishwasher, Hutto.
43 points the margin. Darcy. Akers manufactured something, blasted it out, and the mark is taken by Doherty. So they just can't get out again. Carlton dominating field position we've seen, particularly since quarter time. Jones can go for a stroll. He pinpoints Pitnett. He's making himself dangerous at the moment, and they're flowing past. They all want to be part of it. And one thing they haven't been so good is splitting the big sticks out on the full from Walsh.
Yeah, 14 goals, 18 coming into this game. Sam Walsh is going to get more goal-scoring opportunities this season than ever, with higher scores being kicked, and the Blues are in this kind of form. Anything's possible. Petrevski-Seaton. Fogarty again. Blips it over the top to Nunes. Here's Walsh again. Goes with the pass option. He just floated that into Mackay's hands, and he grabbed it like it was a butterfly in the air.
He is such a quality target, Jono. He's always full-chested at the kicker, coming straight line at the deliverer. It's very difficult to defend. You can't chop the arms. Can't really guard space.
Career high on offer. Mackay's got 5, and he's not done with yet.
Well, you called for a change, and I'm not sure whether it was just the flow of the ball that it maybe caused him kicking, but Ryan was the one that was trailing in Mackay on that occasion. But just their work out of the congestion here.
It was a swap.
It was. Look at that. Just a handball released outside. Walsh under a little bit of pressure, but how good's the kick?
If Cox is going to stand behind Mackay, he's going to finish with 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Take the dangerous space.
Well, how good can he be, Harry Mackay? That's the question. He's perfect age. He's gone through all those years of development. What could he become?
He's still waiting for Charlie Curnow to get down there and provide another option. When you've got 2 down there, he's going to go from a headache to a migraine.
Top disposal winners almost exclusively Carlton's. It was the top 7 at halftime. Ryan's been getting plenty of footy out of defence, but Carlton are winning it at the source. Cripps, Williams is flying. They're looking for Mackay again. It's a free kick. Is it downfield?
Yeah.
Your kick downfield here.
And so Mackay is going to get a chance for his 6th goal.
Patrick Cripps absolutely lifted him off the ground then. Sarong.
Carlton fans only just realising it. The big H.
He couldn't put his feet on the ground, Sarong.
For number 6. Can you hear me, Harry?
This is awesome. This is Carlton at their best. We wondered what they were going to be in 2021. It's been sluggish at the start. The first 2 weeks, they kept telling us this is not us. We're better than this defensively. We're better than this at winning contests. They've brought their best today. I mean, this is a downfield free kick, but the flow of play was beautiful. And that's what they want Williams doing, delivering inside 50 to the big targets. They got some nasty about them today, the Blues.
They talked about being bullied, I guess, and from an age group point of view, Carlton average age almost 26, Fremantle 24 and a half, average games 103 versus 70. So they are more experienced and they are older, and they put that into action today.
Interesting choice to try and rip his jumper off. See if they can get the share in here against him. No, not this time. They're still holding him, but they're holding him without the ball. Play on. Curnow, chip kick, Walsh. Parks. Blasted to a good spot. Scrambled away by Chapman, but it might be coming back. Carlton set up the wall. Parks with a little knock. Sarong held, didn't have it. Umpire lets it roll. Off hands Walsh. The ball found him. He's usually been finding it today, but somehow it bounced to him, and it looks as if Schultz is bouncing up. 4-4 to 12-11, early stages, third term.
Calling for help, all of a sudden, he's recovered. And the ball is back in motion. Walsh is sending it forward. Guess who? He's got a new opponent, but it's the same story. Harry Mackay. He is on target for double figures today. We've already seen 10 goals from Josh Bruce. Harry's kicked 6. A deep breath. You never quite know where it's going. Eddie almost. There's a wry smile. Out on the full, Reece Conker. They've all been overworked back there today, the Dockers. 55 points is the lead for Carlton. Casbold came late, had an impact too on the contest. Williams stripped of it, but that just allowed Curnow in. Mackay didn't go that time. Probably didn't want to maim his teammate. They've done all the scoring this quarter. 14 inside 50s to 1 for 3 goals, 2 to nothing, as well as that miss, and that's going to be incorrect disposal, and Patrick Cripps will line up for another.
Well, the coach said at half-time to his troops, we're being bullied out there. We just can't let Patrick Cripps do what he wants to do. And this third term, he's owned the ball, and when he hasn't had the football, he's had a Fremantle player by the ears. He's been everywhere, Patrick Cripps. Welcome back.
And he hasn't tidied up that strapping. I think he's enjoying the rugged look today, and he's wearing it well. Patrick Cripps for his second goal, and to extend Carlton's lead to beyond 10 goals. And the Blues fans are having a day out at the footy. It's been a long time coming.
It's been a delight to watch one of the best players in the competition bounce back and just lead his team the way that Patrick Cripps has today, Kingy.
There's something about when your leader is a warrior like this, playing like this, that drags not just the 17 others out there on field, but the whole football club with him. Yeah. This is a statement.
It's a good point. It's the thousands here, it's the thousands at home as well that go, yep, we're on board again. Here we go, Blues.
And confirmation to the rest of the competition. Champions have done this for 100 years.
Yep.
Under pressure, down, people talking about what's your level, are you injured? And you rise to a big occasion like Patrick Cripps has on this occasion so far. And here he is, the 1-2. Butch and Sundance combining again. Walsh gets a little trickler. Cut off by Giro. Pushing the back. Advantage free. Frederick gets it from Switkowski. He wants to take off. Back to Giro. Can he find a target? Walters is inside 50. They sit it on his head. Taberner's there. Doherty! All the ingredients for the Blues. Young players playing well. Old stars rising to lead. Silvani As the kick down the spine sees him want to go into the corridor. Walsh was there for him. A little dodge step, little fake, maybe fooled too many. Didn't fool Chapman. Henry. Taberner, who's had a light day at the office so far, sees Frederick and turns it over to Cottrell. So the light day for Taberner continues.
Cripps gets wide and gets dangerous again. This time he doesn't like the picture in front of him, so just delayed the release of the next kick. And in the end, it goes over and away from Conker. So he's getting some wardrobe advice from the umpire, Patrick Cripps. Go off or tuck it in. He tucks. Pitnet to the bat. Cottrell. We'd love to see him kick a goal and show us those mad eyes again from last year. Gibbons engulfed in the tackle, sprays it out on the full.
Move out, 10. Move out. Got to be 5 metres behind. You must move now, 5 metres. Keep going.
Plenty of instructions. Sarong finds a target, Chera. He can aim one up into the middle of the ground, and it was well weighted for Aish. Keeps going on that same angle. Hughes darted right, kick towards full forward. Licks out the back. Wiedering was on guard. Parks and a couple of nice things on debut. That was a little heavy. Hughes, Collier, back to Ethan Hughes again. And then more of the same with Collier. Frederick, he's been lively. Committed to moving on, then had to do something about it. And they've wasted an opportunity. Lovely work, Silvani. Everyone wants to be part of this. They sweep through the middle of Marvel Stadium. Gibbons was trying to get it through to Mackay. Going to have to work hard for this one. The Dockers defence do the job.
Eddie Betts was wide open too if that had a hit.
Yeah, Mackay's like a magnet though. He's drawing everything right now. Eddie was once the magnet.
Stand. Play on.
Half-forward kick to Switkowski is good. Is he able to get up quickly and chip it over the top to Walters?
What a kick from Chera. Just straight through the heart of the ground.
And Walters spins it through. Breathes some life back into it.
All because of the aggression with that kick at half-back. Chera bites off absolute corridor. Free man, Switkowski at centre-half forward all alone. That kick there, that just created the score. It's been well held today, Michael Walters. He's got a couple of goals.
First goal of the quarter for the Dockers. First goal since late in the second. And he kicked one in that second quarter. So it's been lean pickings for Fremantle. Carlton well on top. 55 points is the margin. Darcy got the tap down, but where to next? He muscled his way in to get another possession. And they can launch something. Brayshaw goes wide with the kick. And it falls for Frederick, who just can't get the angle right on the snap.
He's looked lively, Frederick. He's everywhere at the moment. Just needs a bit more supply. They've only gone inside 50 25 times for the game, Fremantle.
Doherty drives it in the Walsh direction. He had to wait a long time. Chapman made the commitment to get there and thump it out. There's Chapman, he's got some speed, took out the WA Combine 2K time trial. He's an athlete, footballer. Played against men for West Perth in the Waffle late last year and looked pretty good in his first couple of games with the Dockers. And no need to tell you, the crowd told you they thought that was a free kick to Walsh. Possession number 27 coming up. He goes back to Sard. He's got some space if he wants to run. Wiedering. Plowman, who can't quite reach it. And given Walters was about to shut him down, might be content to see that out. Big crowd in. Easter Sunday, high expectation on Carlton's rise up the ladder at the start of this season. The Blues stalking their first victory of 2021. Williams scrambles it out of the area. Cripps again with Hughes this time. And crowd thought he was held a little too much. Ball out of play on the wing, and even Eddie looks sprightly at the moment.
Darcy angled it down. Blues know where it's going at the moment. Cripps extracted it. Doherty, Curnow, Dow squeezed up against the line. And now it dribbles over and out. And Blues fans cheering everything at the moment. Mundy watching Cripps that time, but it fell to Akers and then back to Wilson. Reinforcements arrive. Chapman squeezes it out. Brayshaw takes the mark. Pause for a moment and set his sights through the middle because Akers had given him something to hit up. He could go further across to Giro, but slightly more direct. There's a long wait for Sukowski. Has the mark. They do pour into the 50, the Fremantle players, but nothing you can see. So it's wide to Giro. Tabner being watched back there by Plowman. Got the run and jump at the footy. And if he can do that, he'll take it almost every time.
He'll be disappointed, Wiedering. He swapped opponents there. He went to Walters. He said to Plowman, you lock away Tabner for me. And he did a hell of a good job on Walters. He did 4 or 5 leads. His teammate didn't back him up.
They've had a couple of good ball movement passages through the middle of the ground, Fremantle, in this quarter. Been able to get the ball back into the corridor, open up Carlton a little bit that way.
3 goals round 1, 2 goals last week for Matt Taberner. It's been difficult up forward. This is for his first of the afternoon. He makes no mistake, although Plowman says it's touched. It's deemed a goal.
They will review it. If it's called a goal, they will review it.
So they will review it upstairs.
It's a good grab from Taberner. Was able to release off Plowman at the right time. The build-up on this passage of play was very good, Fremantle. We'd like a few more of those by the end of the game.
Is there a time frame on when we get the all clear?
Yep, when the ball's bounced.
That's it?
Yep.
Or tossed in the air. Umpire thought about it. Now he does it. Meeks with the palm down. Almost stripped. It is knocked out in the Cripps direction again. Gathered, but this time turns it over to Brayshaw. Aish, Walters. Meek. In fact, Darcy it is forward. So Darcy to line up from about 40 metres out. This could be for 3 goals in a row.
He's only made
Fremantle.
He's only made 2 mistakes today, Liam Jones, and he's slipped twice. That's it. He's been very good otherwise.
13 goals to 6 as it stands right now. Still a quarter and 3 minutes left. And didn't get enough shoe on it. Wow. Another behind.
Shit's still recovering down there. Saad wanders back. Gives it plenty. He targeted Casbolt. It didn't quite arrive. Kingy and Jono, do you think Fremantle can carry 2 such ruckmen as Meek and Darcy for multiple games?
Last week worked brilliantly for him, so you can understand why then they've made that decision to try again this week to see if it'll work. It just hasn't completely. Liam Jones has controlled more so the ruckman that has played forward throughout the day. But yeah, there's definitely a place for it. It's just the baseline they set last week, they haven't got anywhere near that today, the Fremantle Dockers.
They are winning some possession at the moment. Gift it straight back to Fogarty. Outstanding first half. He's had 19 disposals now for the day. Curnow playing it back further, giving up some ground as the Blues try and get back into control of the Sharon. Wiedering has Saad on offer and stretch the ground. Make it big down the line. Oh, not good service for Murphy, but he knew where the ball was going to drop. He's going to be confronted straight away by Ryan. Both fierce in their endeavour. Jones joins in with a tackle and it's going no further. 47-point lead to Carlton. We've seen some sizable results so far this weekend. Walters jams it forward. Plowman and Saad there with Parks and Jones for Carlton. They had the numbers, but they've lifted their rating a bit here, the Dockers. Frederick comes in off the left boot this time. Hard to trap, but Taberner did that okay. Slightly untidy handball. Sarong went searching. Switkowski, has he got enough on the curl? Not quite.
Potent forward line for the Blues. If they can get it down there late in this quarter, they've got Cripps, Mackay and Betts as their three deepest forwards. Less interchange this season and Stars resting forward more often. Great attempt by Frederick to keep it in the area. Half smother. Switkowski caught. Ball came to pass. Saad bombed it but hit the belly of the ball. Eddie got up early. Came from another postcode with the leap. Couldn't quite find the shoulders to land on. Ryan back against the grain. He beat Eddie. And Mackay took him out.
But it was the Eddie pressure that allowed Mackay to come in and make the secondary tackle.
I think Eddie thought his legs were going to take him higher than that.
Just needed the seat when he got up there to sit on. Back into play, Pitternet. Meek wins the palm down. Little pat from Walters. Fogarty right with him. Sarong gets back. Aish to that one-on-one. Pitternet versus Meek. Patted towards the boundary. Plowman, he kept it alive. Takes him on. Spears the pass. Found Fogarty. He's got the handball option. Curnow looks up. Gibbons couldn't find a target. Cripps or Mackay. Mark to Akers.
25 seconds left. Will Fremantle be aggressive off half-back? And the crowd determining correctly that was out on the full from Chera's kick. Zach Williams has won a few today. He's recovered in time to take the mark.
Have you seen his game today in the midfield, Jono?
Yeah, I thought it's been very good. Under a bit of duress as well. It's been quite physical in the contest.
Siren sounds. Fremantle found a bit of mojo late, but we've taken something special to mount a serious charge. It's been Carlton's day so far. Harry Mackay with 6. Can he kick some more in the final term? It's the Blues by 46 at the last.
He was able to also find some good space forward of the ball.
Not sure we're going to see Lockie Schultz again, but look at that. He's heading down to the rooms. Injured late in that third quarter. Already Hayden Young is done for the day. Liam Henry, who started as the medical sub, is out there for the final term. It's a 46-point advantage with Harry Mackay on 6 goals, and Sonny Walters goes straight to work. All straight lines out of the middle, but again Wiedering had the jump on Taberner and he cleared it. And with Nunes' fist, it's out of bounds.
Once again, though, the forwards for Fremantle led to the ball. Walters coming out. Low ball inside forward 50. Carlton first to respond and lead the way.
Liam Jones, 12 intercept possessions today. Wrestle in the ruck. Pitnet basically has taken on the 2 Fremantle ruckmen on his own today with a bit of help from Casbolt. Gibbons through the fingertips of Silvani. Brayshaw, possession 17. Not one of his best. The eagerness of the Blues to defend all over the ground on display. Cleaner that time from Brayshaw. Left foot needed by Chera to half forward. And Ken Jones with the spoil. Nunes to Sard. He was about to get going. He can now. It was, wow, the short pass that to Cripps, who just shakes off Wilson. And then got it a little bit further on to Curnow. At half forward, Mackay. This time Cox was able to dispose of him. Back to Chapman and up and under to the wing. Petreski Seaton in the wrestle. Swakowski wet to ground. Fogarty playing his best game in his AFL career. Linking up with Murphy. And it comes to a halt with Walsh.
Mackay leads short in his direction. Got it! And if he joined us late, it has been a career-best dominant performance by Harry Mackay, who's got 6 goals, 3 so far.
The moments after he takes the mark, all the air comes. It looks like he hangs his head.
The key forward is back in 2021. Harry Mackay threatening to put up a huge number. That'll work back. Not enough.
Wasn't bad, was it?
6 goals, 4. It's a big day.
Yep.
Can he get to the 10?
And he had one across the face as well, so... Wilson, Tabernar, both hands to it. Ricochets from Pitnet. Back through Sard, who cop one. He's gone heavy to ground. It's long to full forward again. The hustle, the bustle. Mackay couldn't release at the important time. Giro goes all the way back to the goal square to find support from Ryan. And the Dockers decided to go particularly short with Chapman. Through the middle to Sarong, and now Wilson. Chapman again. Little weave. And a kick out to the wing to Giro. So they've got the ball just behind the wing. Can they attack with meaning here?
Conquered by the Blues defence yet again. They've been all conquering all afternoon, although that one must have caught a boot and gone out on the full. They're just confirming here.
Seriously brilliant from Liam Jones. Like to leave his direct opponent, come up and close the space with so much speed.
It's Fremantle kick. Reese, outside bound line. Around 2 metres. 2 more metres.
They've worked their way through that. Conker told to go. Pitternet stalking it. Petreski, Seaton, Jones, Wachowski with the crumb. Williams tried to get away with it. Just flicked it back. Wachowski found a hole, ran through it, looks up. Henry comes hard. Great collision, great commitment from both, and a brilliant grab. Medical sub. Liam Henry. 5th game. And he can make it 3 goals in a row for Fremantle. Looks confident, struts in, peels it back, and it's across the face a little. Another behind.
Blues re-enter, quite wide with Nunes to Plowman. Where's the next step? A lead from Casbolt is honoured. Just relaxed on it a fraction. Chapman's done enough. Pitnet. Saw Darcy get it across the front of the contest. Curnow, makeshift kick up to the wing. Chapman again. Casbolt. Hughes got a full tour and must be penalised. Terrific tackling from Casbolt. He's got Cripps on offer, ignores the captain and goes longer and wider. And Ryan did his best to disguise that he was trying to get it out of bounds.
He won't make that mistake again.
I think we can all agree that was holding the ball. There's a free kick here, and I think it's going Carlton's way. Against Brayshaw on Curnow. Shake of the head from Andy Brayshaw. We wrote him off last time. This is a fraction further out. He's taking the same track. This time he centres it. Plenty of tall timber for the Blues. Casbolt had a big opportunity. Silvani tried to spring up. What's he done?
In the back.
He's got a free.
It was just a will then from Silvani. He's done that a few times today. He's been very good in the contest and really fighting through it. So I think it was the secondary. He got the ball, went to ground, lunged forward, and the pressure comes in on his back at that point.
I think that Fremantle fans saw it the same way as the umpire. And a bit wobbly in front of the sticks, but surely he can kick his first of the afternoon here. He certainly can. Jack Silvani takes Carlton close to the century. Oh, Sauce never gives. You've got to kick more than one to impress Stephen. Come back to me when you've got 4, son.
He's been really good today.
He has.
He's been full of energy in the first term. He got the party started. Been dangerous up forward. That's clever. So clever. He knew exactly what he was doing there, Silvani. Smart to draw the free kick. Fremantle fans are angry and upset with that and probably a bit frustrated, but certainly there, it's just such clever play.
Back into the lineup this week, Jack Silvani, Eddie Betts back in, Luke Parks in his first AFL game. He's not far away from getting in the shower post-game in the song. Curnow bangs it. Casbolt got their ugly bounce. Chapman attacked it, beelined it, run down from behind. Chera just got a kick away. Curnow heads back in the Mackay direction, got there late, made a contest, got it to the deck and got Hughes to the deck big time. Casbolt tried to feed onto it. Murphy does. He gives it to Fogarty, deserves one, won't get one on the full.
I'm actually not sure that wasn't a free kick to Hughes with the treatment he copped in the marking contest.
Squashed. Yeah, that's a great kick. Takes them all the way beyond centre half back to Aish. Chera gives him the run from behind. Jones again tries to intervene. Frederick versus Parks. Parks latched on, so Frederick had to cough it up. It's there to be one in the pocket. Plowman gets dragged down. Dockers redouble their tackling efforts. Frederick, but Plowman wins the day. Fogarty continues to cover the ground. Clearing kick for Murphy. And Chera's done enough. Let's see whether Hughes was unlucky here.
Yes, very. If you can pay it in the back to Silvani, I think Hughes deserved that one.
Darcy fends it down. Maybe, yeah, tug at the jumper for Zach Williams. And he climbs up to take the free. Blues leading by 52. Kick didn't go far enough to be deemed a mark. Sam Walsh, though, can still see Fogarty in his sights. Another possession coming up. Mackay wants it long. Hughes was the spoiler that time. Aish, Chapman to the outer side. Trust in Frederick. Oh, he spilt the mark. Parks crashed into him. Play on the call. And we'll have a ball up.
Tossed in the air, just outside the Blues. Attacking 50, Sarong, Mundy, Collier. With some speed. Taberner led at him. It floats over the top, and Jones might get there. It did. Big fist. He killed it out of play. And the Blues fans rejoice. Loving every second of this. Oh, boy. So Blues free.
Yeah, the second ruck, you've talked about this all day today, John. It just hasn't worked forward of centre. Jones is paying them no respect and cutting off every intercept available.
So Wiedering floats that out in front for Plowman and directing traffic. He said to Nunes, you run here, I'll give it there. Didn't quite work it out. Oh, yeah, all part of the grand plan. Heads towards Silvani, a double grabber. And now it opens up for the Blues. Options inside. Lace out delivery to Dow. To Mackay, held. And he'll line up for number 7.
And that's just the build-up of 58 inside 50s. Oh, just been under enormous pressure down back today. We talk about targeted entries and how many times the ball goes to Mackay. It's the 19th time today they've targeted that matchup.
It's already a career high, 6 goals, 4 for Harry Mackay. The Blues fans have loved every moment of it. He's loved every moment of it. He's in 7th heaven. 7 goals for Harry.
Eddie Betts had to do a little bit of work on the goal line to allow that one to go through. Fremantle had no representation really there, apart from Wilson. But the ball back into the corridor from Silvani was just brilliant. There's the pressure there. There's the hole from Cox, who's been under pressure all day from Mackay, and his movement, and the ball movement coming his way has been quite fluent.
Still 12 minutes more. 7 goals, 4.
2 goals, 3 round 1. 4 goals in the classic matchup against Darcy Moore last week. Could have been anything. If he was only a lesser defender than Darcy, it would have been much more than 4.
Meek has it to himself this time. Slammed it inside 50. Plowman on the job, not paid the mark. And he's not happy about it, Lucky Plowman. Thought it was a bump ball, sorry. Doesn't make him feel any better. Akers has got to do the ruck work. Not ideal. Casbolt back to the middle. Might be a free kick to Nathan Wilson here. Bit of interference. Now he's a beautiful kick at the football. Does he have a shot here? Doesn't look like he's going to.
He is 65 out.
We could have, well, we know 65 is 60 if you run around. Oh, they left that one. Blues defence behind. Just looking for some more highlights, David.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Patrick Cripps, speaking of highlights. Couple of goals. Led from the front this afternoon. Mackay. Well up the ground. Official attendance has been posted as just under 25,000 this afternoon. A lot of satisfied Carlton fans, you would suspect. Sarong, impressive mover, and Henry made hard work of it. Does take the mark. Frederick also has been lively up forward, as we've said a number of times, and he gets on the end of this.
Just the timing. This guy's got a lot of good football in front of him. He sees the play unfold, he reads the cues of the kicker, and he's off and gone. They've been really good, the back 6 of Carlton today, and he outread them there. Look at him, he's already on the move, on the lead. Jones is left in his wake.
Just got to add the finishing to it at the moment. 1 goal, 3 so far this afternoon, and he doesn't hit that in the right place either. So 1 goal, 4. And it was a bit astray last year with his kicking it goal as well.
It is, it's an issue to miss, but 5 shots a goal in a team that's only had the 35 inside 50s.
Mundy dealt with Cripps. He's taking a time to get up. Brayshaw in the meantime. Giro, that'll work. Outstanding. Trying to pull something from the rubble.
Patrick Cripps is not happy. Taking the ground, but that's an unbelievable finish.
Well, sometimes we see some things from some younger players. You think, yeah, he works hard up and down the ground. He uses the ball pretty well in general play. But every now and then a little bit of flair comes out. That's just a brilliant kick.
Did he get any ball here or all head?
That's all his head.
David Mundy might have got away with one, but it was worth it just to see the Giro goal.
Yep.
Unless you're Patrick Cripps. Then it probably wasn't worth it. 51 points. Been an even final term in every way, really. Casbolt got the tap. Mundy got another tackle, and that's not going to make Patrick feel any better. Free kick goes to the Freo veteran, former captain. Had a few offers. Goes straight down the middle to Henry, who flew against Wiedering. Sarong came blazing through. Collier. Parks. Good spoil, but Doherty was onto it. Out to the wing, Silvani. Had to contend with Docker's plays from in front and behind. He ended up at least splitting the contest and getting it over the line and out of bounds in front of the adoring Carlton fans.
That's the time to go to Sauce, not in the crowd, not after he kicks a goal. When he defensively does something well, you'd be giving him a standing ovation, Hutto.
I'll speak to the director about that. Cripps out to the line.
They fought back well here, Fremantle, haven't they? I mean, this could have got seriously ugly on the scoreboard, but they've rallied in the last 35 minutes. Outscored the Blues 3 goals, 5-2-1.
Darcy down, Terra gets clipped, and he's going to get a free kick.
Hi, Fremantle. Standing, back on.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of the games get ugly, haven't we, over the weekend, so they haven't let that happen.
Play on.
Oh, Carlton defence well placed on that occasion. It wasn't a great kick in terms of the depth. Now, will they press go through the middle? It's in the perfect hands. Sard, oh, good hunt. Again, good determination from Collier, who's got good wheels of his own, of course. And they forced the turnover. But Carlton are coming again. Doherty and Sard take their turns on the tackles. That's Wiskowski. Collier sees an opening. Oh, Wiedering was all over Taberner. That's an outstanding mark under real duress.
That's a great mark. I mean, there's not much more you can do as a defender. No. Wiedering, he did everything but punch the ball.
Can he get around the corner from this distance on the right boot? Not on the right line.
It's some good double efforts by Collier in the middle. Switkowski beating 2 men taller than him in a marking contest. They're fighting to take something away from this loss. Pitternet, Silvani from behind's blocked it. Told to go by the umpire. Didn't hold it alone. Fingertips on it, apparently. Ball knocked back to Pitternet. Feeds it back to Nunes. Petreski-Seaton, 3 around him. Oh, he parted the seas, went through a lot of them, and then the handball's behind him. So Aisha's free on the wing. And he had 3 Dockers players to give it to. He gave it to Jones. Walters. Handball through legs, nutmegged him. Mundy. Giro just kicked one from that pocket. Unselfish. Top of the square. Big pack. Switkowski deserves that.
Well, they're fighting. They're fighting away, chipping away. They know the result's a foregone conclusion, but the kick from Giro there to the top of the square just causes this. Uncertainty, and then all of a sudden you get a drop of ball goal. Looks easy in the end, but the build-up was absolutely fantastic. Justin Longmuir will be wrapped with the fight back. He's worked hard today.
Yeah, he's had a good game.
How clever is this? You have to practice that move, or it's come natural?
We mentioned earlier, Kingy, this weekend from the teams selected, with still 2 to come, 2 teams to be picked for the weekend. Carlton, the 4th oldest this round, and Fremantle, the 4th youngest. So they are a young team. Obviously, both sides have a number of their key players out, as we've mentioned. But they have fought on gamely here. Opportunity for Brayshaw, doesn't quite capitalise, but still it squirts to Frederick. Left foot kick, Nunes. An impediment takes the mark.
It's like Carlton invested so much in getting off to a start, and so much energy was spent on that first 40 minutes, and it was brilliant. So maybe they pay the price at the back end of the game, but what an investment it's been. They just had to get the 4 points today to keep their season alive.
6.5 minutes to go, and game almost being played exclusively in Fremantle's front half now. He can wind up again. And nice delivery from Aish to Taberner. And on the arc, he goes not at goal. Henry stays down, and Jones feasts some more, takes another wonderful mark.
You give him best on honours, Jones, or is it more Cripps with the way that he's led today?
Guy at the other end's kicked 7.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that as well.
Jono, how'd you forget that?
Good attack. I thought you were a forward, Jono. Pushing the back, Blues ball. He's going to have to kick 8 for you, is he, Jono?
Without Jones and Cripps getting it down to him.
Stand now, try and stand.
Walsh has been okay, hasn't he?
Yeah, he might fall
With
out
just
of
the
votes.
32.
This is an equal PB for Walsh now, and he mightn't get votes.
Career high 32, and he heads toward Cripps, who's done a reasonable job with his 30. So Aish, and they are finding something of value out of the rubble of this, the Dockers. Aish heads toward Darcy through his hands, and it rolls out of play.
Isn't it a great discussion that David Teague would love to get involved in? Who's best of field? And you've got 4 or 5 different options.
Yep.
Like that's paradise for a coach.
Lockie Fogarty, the highest ranked player on the ground too. 5.5 to go in the final term. Gibbons on the outside for Walsh again. Silvani. Interesting duel with young Chapman. It goes over the boundary for another throw. And Harry's had a rest. He's coming back on to give us another 5.5 minutes. And the crowd recognise that as well.
If he kicks 3 more, Jono, do you then give him the 3 vote?
Gibbons forced to go back to find Walsh. Plowman, they start to spread. Parks thumps it deep. Casbolt, a crash to the ground. The umpire says play on, and there's the mark. Chapman does just that. Conker, as they break from half back. Wilson glides along that city wing. Searching ball for Taberner. Little nudge on Wiedering. Parried away again by Jones. Sard trying to get going. Prashevsky-Seaton has a little glance in the review mirror. All clear. Short to Mackay and back again. Prashevsky-Seaton wide to Gibbons.
Eddie.
Williams in the pocket, and Nunes can't get it because Aish got the hand in. And Chapman can't quite find a teammate. It's still alive. Conker's spread out all over the ground.
Is that cramp or a hamstring kicking?
Well, I hope it's cramp. Gee, it come at a bad time. He was about to take the mark.
Well, the smile on his face, even though it's painful, probably tells you it's cramp.
He's had to stretch, and that was it.
And he's in the far back pocket, as far away as you can get from the bench.
Yeah.
Pitternet stalks that. He double-handed patted it down to Cripps, the man of the moment. And ball rolls out of play. Another round of applause for the Blues fans, just for getting it out of play to reset, because their champion, Patrick Cripps, has risen to the occasion, led from the front, been almost unstoppable. 31 possession afternoon so far on this Easter Sunday. Sarong tried to thread the handball through the traffic, unsuccessful. Gibbons loads up. Casbolt, front spot, can't mark it. Wilson slams it on the boot. Switkowski's tried his heart out, and he had to put the Jets on there to collect that. To Chapman. Giro. Taberner. If he knocks this down, Frederick could run. He's marked it almost between his legs. Still there, lays the tackle. Tackle laid on Plowman as they dance their way to the umpire's whistle.
More footy still to be played in this round, of course, tomorrow, but More immediately tonight, the D's against the Giants at Manuka. 44 points is the margin here at the moment at Marvel Stadium. Carlton from half-back. Dismissed the tackle, Petrevski-Seton, and successful fend it was on Brayshaw. Finds Nunes. Not really to the advantage of Casbolt. Stays... No, it doesn't. And Chapman's had his hands full back there, but he's had 17 disposals, so he's still finding his way.
Walsh on screen, there he is. Career high now. 32 was his best before today. He's up to 34. Well done, Walshy.
Lovely tap from Pitnet. Great service for Gibbons. The handball's chained up. Walsh again. Eddie gives it back to Walsh. There's a handball over the top. Or a pass. That's better. Mackay will take it. And now he can line up for his 8th. Harder to go around the corner for the left-footer from here.
I'm worried about him taking up the whole 30 seconds. Might cost him 10. Run out of time.
What a day. Already better than he's ever done before for number 8. 7 goals, 5.
Just the one vote.
12 scoring
Wow.
shots.
How good is it, Dwayne?
Yeah.
Seriously.
We
Keep
games
forward.
last year where both teams didn't have 12 scoring shots.
Right.
Ball feeds out wide to Conker. He looks up and he's got Collier on the move. Wants to run, move it and use it well to Darcy. Floats it out in front of him. Darcy on the run. Popped inside to Frederick. He's got the speed. He gets there. Takes them on. Lights it up. Handball to his own advantage and Giro. Still a chance, Frederick. Goes back against the grain to try and pick it up. Ball flicked out towards Wiedering. Giro. Pamina. Goal. Worked hard to get it. And the scoreboard will look good come the end of the day, considering what it might have looked like.
Well, if I'm Justin Longmuir, I'm showing the work rate of Michael Frederick. He went for a 100-metre sprint just to be involved. Yeah, he made a couple of blues, but stayed involved. Look at this, back in for the hunt. Cause another spill. And then things just fall your way. A little bit of luck, a little bit of pinball. And then Tabitha's the lucky beneficiary, but Frederick's work was absolutely fantastic.
It's a great pickup. We showed it pre-game as well. It's consistency in that effort. He did it last week as well, Kingy. So he's starting to build some consistency in his work rate and running some really good lines. The Giants make their way on to Manuka Oval, facing the D's. 3rd versus 17th.
Yeah, big night for the Giants after their start to the season. It's back to 39 points. They've kicked 3 last quarter goals here to 2 for Carlton, Fremantle. Still a minute 48 remaining. We're not going to see 2 lots of 10 goals in a round, it seems. The last time that happened, by the way, was round 19, 1996. Jason Dunstall and Tony Lockett, a couple of handy full forwards. We still might, of course, with 2 matches to come.
That's right.
Giro spending some time forward in this last quarter. Swatted away again by Liam Jones. Petrevski-Seton's enjoyed plenty of dash-off half-back this afternoon as this game's gone on. It's got better and better to half-forward. Casbolt drew a crowd, which meant Harry's on his own in the pocket, but they couldn't capitalise. Czukowski comes away. Oh, that blind hand pass went straight to Levi. Petrevski-Seton, a sneaky little slider out the side. Nunes, where's Harry? He's in the pocket. It's a central kick to Murphy. Eddie's just slipped back. Oh, but he found a shorter option in Gibbons. Right in front of goal. Beautifully identified by Mark Murphy.
Around a metre. 15 gone. 15 gone.
24th disposal coming up for Michael Gibbons. An excellent pickup in the last couple of years. This for his first of the afternoon. Cheered through by the Blues fans. They wanted to finish the afternoon in a really positive fashion. And they get that with a late goal to Mickey Gibbons.
now that he's established himself, he's become part of the midfield rotation. Plays high half forward, can go back deep as well. He's got some great front and square craft when he does play forward, Gibbons. So he's added some real strength to the lineup for the Blues. We've seen it consistently throughout the day from a lot of them, Kingy. So it's really a baseline performance now for what we expect for the remainder of the season for the Carlton Football Club.
20 marks inside 50 today for Carlton. That's a massive number. They've looked so damaging going forward. Talk a lot about Mackay, but the forward six have worked together well, blocking, shepherding for each other.
Final seconds playing out in a dominant Carlton performance. One last highlight, perhaps. Walsh waltzed his way through them. Fogarty, Cripps, outside of the boot, tried to manufacture something for the fans to go up as one with. But the siren sounds. The Blues late to the 2021 party, but they're dancing now. Their first win of the season. Score, Carlton 16-13, 109. Fremantle 9-10-64 in front of 24,551, the majority of which loved their Easter Sunday.
Too tough. Just brutal. When the game was there to be won, it was number 9, Paddy Cripps, Sammy Walsh just running right in that midfield. They had a great focal point up forward that had an erratic day in front of goal. 7 goals, 5 to Harry Mackay. But when the game was at its hottest, Jono, it was the prime movers for the Blues that separated.
Yeah, it was. You can add Fogarty into that as well. He started the season really well. He had 108 ranking points to half-time, so he was certainly setting a good standard as well.